guys, Liv Morgan did it. She actually won the briefcase and cashed it in and won the SmackDown Women's Championship, not SmackDown Live. That was years ago. But welcome back to Deadman 110 and welcome to my Money in the Bank 2022 review video. And yeah, I'm basically going to say my thoughts and opinions and whatnot on the event, and I guess a little, spoiler insight. It's going to be very, very positive. But needless to say, we've got, My Damn Toys video to help us out with that, and we're going to get pretty much stuck right in right away.
Welcome back to another My Damn Toys video. Today we're back with our WWE Money in the Bank 2022 full show review and results. Now, we did not get to the special videos that I wanted to do leading up to this pay-per-view due to a lot of different factors, but I'll give you guys my predictions as we go along, you know, how it unfolded. I'll be honest about it, I had a lot of things coming into this pay-per-view, but Money in the Bank is one of my favorite pay-per-views. You know, I love it. I absolutely adore it. I've always loved the concept. I was around for the first ever. Thought it was brilliant then. I've always thought it was brilliant, and it continues to amaze me every single time. So I'm excited for it. I love the whole ideals around it. But I am going to be honest with you. I'm not really looking forward to the Money in the Bank matches for this show. This show's kind of lacking a lot to me, you know. But usually when that's the case, what do they always do? They always over-deliver when we're not looking too forward to the show. That's usually the way things roll out. For whatever reason, that's how it goes. Nonetheless, man, we're going to dive into Money in the Bank 2022, letting you guys know exactly what took place, what my thoughts were on it, where I think we'll go from here, fantasy book it maybe a little bit into the future, cover everything about the show that I enjoy.
Yeah, that's basically what we're going to do. So we're going to do the vintage thing. We're going to talk about it, say, you know, my opinions on the match and, you know, etc. and etc. Me saying whether it was the right call or not, and then where we'll go from here and how the feuds were and, you know, all the vintage stuff. So, yeah. It's basically similar to the predictions video, except you'll obviously get to the winners coming out of my mouth. And therefore, me saying with perfect conviction where we'll go from here. So there you go.
Enjoyed, I hated, and would the show be amazing? Would it be terrible, or would it be somewhere in between? Let's find out together as we dive into Money in the Bank and find out what the hell took place. So our main show kicked off with the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match featuring Lashley.
This was amazing. This match was... Oh my god. This was such a good match. Such a good match. You had Alexa Bliss. You had Raquel Gonzalez. I think that's her name is. I can't remember. You had Becky Lynch. You had Liv Morgan. You had Asuka. You had Lacey Evans. You had Shotzi Blackheart. I think I'm not missing anybody else. And yeah, all of these women, yeah, they delivered a killer match. That was amazing. And Shotzi definitely left a piece of her behind in that ring, because boy oh boy did that not look good what happened with her and Alexa Bliss when Shotzi hit that ladder. God, like, she was getting a bunch of mean ladder shots already, but apparently that one was, I think, the one that busted her open. So, like, she wasn't obviously bleeding profusely, but yeah, she was showing the scars of battle big time. So should be interesting to see what falls out in terms of with that whole situation. But yeah, obviously best of luck with Shotzi on recovering from that one. But the main story is, of course, the winner. They finally pulled the trigger. They finally had Liv Morgan win the briefcase. Oh my god. It was so amazing. It literally was. Like, I could not believe my eyes. It was brilliant.
Evans, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Shotzi Blackheart. Now, coming into this matchup, it had some good talent in there. You know, I wasn't really worried about the talent at hand. But as this match started to unfold, man, you could just tell how green and how uncontrolled and how uncoordinated everything looked, man. It had so much potential, but I felt like every move that they tried to make was just too slow or too uncoordinated. It looked very sloppy. It wasn't very crisp. Ladders
I mean, truthfully, the ladders weren't as sturdy as anybody could have hoped for, and sure, I did feel that, like, the match did seem kind of slow at times, but, I mean, let's face it, the only thing we're going to really remember is the winner, right? So, I don't much care at all for the fact that the match wasn't that great. I mean, I still think it was great. I mean, it definitely gets a 6 or 7 out of 10 for me, but it's definitely not going to get any higher than that.
Didn't break. It was very untimely. I don't know, man. It was so sloppy. It really was. It was just such a sloppy matchup is all I can really say about it. And that's really a bummer because the winner was who I picked and who I wanted to win this matchup. So Liv Morgan does capture the women's Money in the Bank, which is absolutely huge. I think that's a great pick. I think that's the right pick. Can't wait to see what they do.
Great pick, right pick. Doesn't matter how you look at it. Nobody... I'm going to try and hold it together, guys. But yeah, nobody deserved that more than she did in this match. None of those other competitors deserved it more than she did. And she did it. She did it. She literally did it. And oh my god, I can't believe I got to see the day where we got that. This was more or less a year in the making from when I did my Money in the Bank review last year. Like, literally a year in the making. And it finally happens. Finally. Oh my god, it feels so damn good.
With it right here, you know, a lot of us have been waiting on Liv Morgan to get a moment like this for a long time now. And to see this take place is...
Yeah, this was amazing. I knew damn well when she won that briefcase that I knew that C marked out like crazy. And I watched his video on that, and obviously make sure to check out C Wrestling. He is a G. He is great. But yeah, I knew, like, from the moment that Liv Morgan won that briefcase, I knew that C, on that night when he obviously watched it, I knew he would have been going excited for that. Excited for that. I just knew. And yeah, like, we all figured that Liv had something and could, you know, make something of herself. Like, we all knew she had potential. Like, that's what we always kept banging on about. Like, everybody who's ever really seen her road up to this point, including me, including C, including everybody in the C Wrestling server, including everybody in terms of other YouTubers that ever believed in her. Like, we all knew that like, this was, like, we all knew that she had potential, and she succeeded, and WWE pulled the trigger. Yes! God damn it.
Just amazing, bro. It really, really is. I'm so happy for Liv Morgan. I'm excited for to, you know, to...
I'm happy for myself. I'm happy for Liv, and I'm happy for anybody. And I'm happy for anybody who ever believed in her. Very, very happy, because truthfully, like she said in the little interview after Money in the Bank, she did it for us. Us, the fans. So, I mean, it's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. Incredible. Seriously was and is. And, oh my god.
Just to see what comes of it. But dude, it was super sloppy. It was very sloppy, but she does get her big moment right here. We'll have to see what comes of it, but she is Miss Money in the Bank, and I agree with this decision. Just wish the matchup was better. Next up was our United States Championship matchup between...
I don't know how on earth I was able to concentrate on this match after this, but luckily they delivered a great match, and of course the match I'm referring to is what you're seeing on screen. Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley for the US title, and I don't agree with Bobby Lashley winning the title, because I figured that Theory was going to retain, move on to John Cena, and etc. So, if there was one thing I could, critique on during this pay-per-view, it would be that. Like, I do think that Theory was, or I do think Theory should have retained, in my opinion. I don't think that was the right call, but hey, it'll be fine. Theory will be fine, Lashley will be fine, because we know that he can do, we know that he can go, we know that he's had good US title runs in the past, so this will be no different. So, I mean, everybody will come out of this, better for it, but obviously, I still don't think that Theory should have really lost the title there, but shout out to Lashley, like, he made Theory look good at times, like, honestly, it was brilliant. Like, credit to Lashley.
Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley, a matchup I really wasn't looking forward to. I'm not a huge fan of Theory. I think he's getting better and better. I think he has a ton of potential. I'm just not a personal fan of him. You know what I'm saying? I can acknowledge talent without being an actual fan of the person. That's how I feel about Theory. I think they are going to plan on him being the next John Cena eventually. I said that, I think, a few years.
Yeah, like I'm kind of a little bit of a fan of him, but I mean, you don't have to like somebody to respect somebody, and I do respect Theory, to be fair. Especially for what he obviously did in this match, and obviously leading up to this match with the altercation with Cena and everything that he's done this past year. So, I mean, he's doing great.
Years ago or something like that, I claim that, and it seems to be coming to fruition. We'll have to see about that, but you wouldn't think about that looking at this matchup as we get into it. This matchup was a banger. It really was. I'm not talking 5-star classic or anything like that, but it was a fun little match. I'd say go back and check it out. It had a lot of near falls. It had a lot of reversals. Great.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily a 5-star classic, but I would be damned if I weren't to say that this got, like, at least 3.5, maybe 4 stars, because that was a great little match, a fun match, and they got you invested, even though we were all reeling after the Liv Morgan moment, but they got us invested. That is just great. I can't, get mad at that or anything like that, because that's what we would want. So it's definitely a 3.5, 4-star match, in my opinion.
Chemistry between these two. I thought that Bobby was really over with the crowd. You could tell the crowd really cared about Bobby Lashley and him being a babyface, which I think he works better as, I think. I don't know for sure. I just think that you really want to root for him. He moves around.
I mean, he's obviously a great guy. He's over with the fans. He obviously had a great heel run. But, I don't know. I think after this face run, we're going to have to compare, like, heel Lashley to face Lashley. I think we're going to need to do that, because he had a great heel run last year, and obviously he's doing great so far with his face run right now. So we're going to obviously need to compare the two at some point, but I mean, he's doing great, man. He's doing great. He really, really is.
Great. He's a great athlete. He had some great reversals and strength in this match. There was a botch or two, but it was just so good. I think the match was so good that it took, it didn't really cost it that much in the grand scheme. But Bobby Lashley reverses Austin Theory's move at the end of the matchup, lands on the locks in the hurt lock, and it was over. Bobby Lashley's the new United States champion. Did not see that coming whatsoever. Totally shocked the hell out of me, but man, what a turn of events. I thought it was a brilliant matchup. I had a lot of fun with it, and Bobby Lashley winning the matchup was great. I used to be a big fan of him when I was like 10, and it was exciting to see this take place right here and him get the quote-unquote upset victory over Theory and become champion yet again, the United States champ. I think it's a 3-time U.S. champ now, which is amazing, but this matchup was slept on and it over-delivered. Next up, guys, we have the Raw Women's Championship match between Bianca.
Hell, it did. And now we're on to the Raw Women's Championship side of things. So we have Carmella versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship, and hasn't really been much of a feud. Where we'll go from here, well, obviously Bianca will move on to other challenges, but the match was actually, it was decent. It was very, very decent. It wasn't the worst. I would probably give it like 2.5, 3 stars maybe. So it's definitely very, very decent. It really, really is. It's definitely not horrible. And that attack at the end of the match by Carmella while Bianca was celebrating was actually quite interesting. So I mean, an interesting way to end to end that little that little moment there, obviously with their match and all that. So interesting way to end it, obviously, but it was a decent match in my opinion. Very, very decent. Well done, obviously, by both women involved.
Belair and Carmella. Not a matchup I was really looking forward to. I just, I'm not very entertained by Carmella. She kind of makes me sick. So, this matchup was what it was. It was kind of sloppy again. Wasn't really into it. Didn't really believe that Carmella was going to get the victory. Nothing too special about this match, honestly. I mean, it just really never got out of first.
Yeah, it's decent. It was decent, but obviously, like I said, obviously, it's only going to get a 2.5, 3 stars from me, personally.
Gear for me, I wasn't into it whatsoever. Bianca Belair does win, though, which is very good. I'm glad she won. That's the right winner. No reason for Carmella to become champion right here, so I do agree with Bianca Belair winning the matchup here and putting...
Yeah, this was the right call. Carmella didn't need to win the title. Bianca kind of needs to keep that title, so yeah. That was definitely the right call, so... There you go.
Carmella away. I did like Carmella's gear, though. It was pretty sick with the money, It's kind of an updated look at her last gear that she had, a long time ago.
Yeah, her gear was insane. Like, whoa. Talking of making an entrance, like, that was indeed something.
When she won Money in the Bank, so that was pretty cool, but yeah, just Bianca Belair was the right winner. This is the right deal to go. Nothing much more to it. Next up, guys, was the Undisputed or Unified.
This match was awesome. Usos versus Street Profits. 5-star classic. Simple as that. And of course there was a bit of controversy that also happened with the match. Basically the match ending where Montez Ford ended up apparently having his shoulder up. I didn't realize it until they kept doing the replay on it, but apparently that's what happened. So in theory, legend kind of tells us that this match should technically still be going on because, well, Montez put his shoulder up, but obviously the ref didn't see it. So, therefore, Usos end up retaining the titles. Do I think that's the right call? Yes, but I don't see what's really going to be... I don't see what's going to really be gained out of that because I feel like they would have been able to tell a bit more with Usos losing the titles to the Street Profits, but then again, they're probably going to have another match at SummerSlam because of that controversy. So I mean, fair enough. I mean, they put on barn burners every time, and that was easily their best match. Not necessarily by far, but it was still their best match that they've ever had against one another. Like, brilliant match. Absolutely brilliant match. Definitely worth a watch and definitely 5-star classic in my opinion.
Tag Team Championship matchup between the Usos and the Street Profits, 2 of the best tag teams in the entire company, 2 of my favorite tag teams in the world, going head to head. Every time I see this Angelo Dawkins, it makes me sick. It's such a terrible figure, bro. What the hell is even that? Anyways, this figure sucks too. From the waist up, it's fine. Waist down, terrible. Anyway, this matchup was effing fantastic. You're looking at a match of the year candidate, one of the best tag teams.
Without a doubt, definitely match of the year candidate. It's basically competing with the Seth Rollins Cody Rhodes match from last month inside Hell in a Cell. It's basically competing with that, and it's competing surprisingly well as well.
Wrestling matches you're going to see all year long, man. If you guys missed this matchup, you got to go check it out. It was unbelievable. Great, just great chemistry. I mean, I didn't expect anything less just because of how good both teams are at what they do. Fun-ass match, bro. Very, very fun.
Yeah, I didn't expect anything less. I knew that they were going to kill it. I was just a bit annoyed that they were going at one another again, but at least they delivered a match of the year candidate match. So, I mean, fair dues, obviously, to them, and they did amazing. Both teams killed it. And neither team really lost in both a controversial standpoint and a realistic standpoint, because the person who won this match was really us, the WWE Universe, because we got to see it, and we got to see an instant classic. Simple as that. 5-star classic, like I've been saying about this match.
Very clean, very just great near falls and great chemistry. Classic tag team wrestling at its finest right here. Had a ton of fun with it. I think you guys would really enjoy it, so definitely go back and check this one out. Great near falls, great athletic moves. Angelo putting on a show, Montez putting on a show, the Usos just showing why they do what they do. At the end of the matchup, Montez Ford does end up taking like a 3D looking move, which I don't know how. I've never seen the Usos do that move for some reason, or it's been a while since I've seen them do that move. But Angelo Dawkins got taken out over the...
Yeah, they have done that move before, but it's probably not been a while since they did. But, I mean, fair enough. Do whatever you need to do to win, I suppose.
barricade, and they used that time to do the 2-on-1 there. But the gear that the Usos were wearing in this matchup was insane, too. I hope that's like Elite 105, 107.
Yeah, both men had pretty decent... Both tag teams had pretty decent gear, to be fair.
Usos, because you guys know we just got recently a Jay. We're getting a Jimmy that looks like Jay in Elite 95. We got to get these figures in Elite 107 or 105 or something, because this was some badass gear with jackets and shirts and red sleeve and gray, red, white, black. It was very sick. Very, very sick. It even said Bloodline down the leg, so hopefully we'll get those as Elites. Hell, I think it'd be cool to see them as Ultimates. How sick-ass would that be? Ultimate Usos.
That would be awesome. Sign me up. I would love to see how they go about doing ultimates of those attires for the Usos. That would be brilliant.
Usos in one series? I don't know, man. Come with both tag championships, cloth accessories. Could be a banger. Anyways, man, this matchup was fantastic. The Usos do retain, which I am fine with, but what a damn good football game. Next up was our Smackdown Women's Championship match.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with this call of the Usos winning it. I just think that we would have gained a bit more from it had the Street Profits actually won the titles. But like I said, the real winners were the WWE Universe. So basically us, the fans, because we got to witness a true classic. And now on to the next match. So Natalya versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and this match was alright. It was okay. It's in my opinion, it gets a 2.5, 3 stars in my opinion. It was definitely not that bad. It was what it was. It did what it was supposed to do. It had some alright spots here or there. But obviously the real story is what happened after, and the feud, like I said in my predictions video, was trash, mostly. And where we'll go from here, well, that all is where we're going to go from here pretty much decides it now. So let's get into this.
Between Ronda Rousey and Natalya. Now, this matchup right here, I did not give a goofy goddamn about, man. This is one of those feuds that has been very cringeworthy. It's been channel changing. I love Ronda Rousey, but this return of her has made me, like, when she first came in, her first go around in WWE back at WrestleMania 34 and shortly thereafter all the way up to WrestleMania 35, I enjoyed so much of that it made me just love her as a wrestler. I thought she was so damn good. And then, her coming back, I was so...
Yeah, her first run was amazing. And then her coming back was equally as amazing. Like, I popped mega hard for her coming back the way that she did. But her second run is... It's had some highs, don't get me wrong. But it's had some real lows. Like, god-awful level lows. Like, channel skipping lows. And that's just... Yeah, that's unfortunate on so many levels.
So excited. And then, ever since she's come back, man, she has been a train wreck. It has been so bad. I just cannot get into her matches. I feel like she's not even really trying. And I feel like she may be completely done with after what just happened, Brad. This matchup, I caught the tail end of it because I was putting my son to sleep. Not much going on there. You know, Ronda Rousey does retain, but then... out of nowhere, Liv Morgan cashes in her Money in the Bank contract. Liv Morgan, who just shortly, a couple hours ago, or even just...
I popped even more harder for when she cashed in and won the title more than when she got the briefcase. Like, legit. I popped so hard. Like, I was shaking in happiness. I was like, come on, Liv, come on, Liv. Don't tap, don't tap, don't tap. Like, God almighty, it was insane. It was, oh my God. It was insane. And she actually did it. She did it. And, oh my God, I could not be any more happier for her. I'm so happy for her. Like, I truly wish that I could, hug her and congratulate her myself, should I really say. Sorry about messing up my words, guys, but I truly wish that I could do that. Like, literally. Oh my God, I could not be any more happier for her. Man, oh man. Yes! Thank you, WWE, for finally doing what we've been asking for basically nearly a year at least.
Just an hour ago, winning the women's Money in the Bank. She comes out, cashes in, and she has, she's trying to beat up Ronda. Ronda reverses it into an ankle lock. Liv Morgan gets out of it, reverses that, roll up 1, 2, 3. Liv Morgan is your new SmackDown Women's Champion.
And it was a clever way to try and cover up the fact that Ronda's probably going to go now because of, I think being part-time. So, I mean, it was a clever way to cover that whole situation up because that obviously hasn't been the talking point of this whole shindig.
Freaking believable. Unbelievable. Didn't see it coming, Brad. Did not see that coming. I feel like they always do this with the women, though. Like, they always use Money in the Bank to crown a new champion. They just say, yeah, we're not holding this. I just got out of my mouth that I thought that, I was excited to see where they'd go, but I didn't know if they, usually they put the strap or they put the Money in the Bank contract on somebody.
I mean, I wish that she obviously would have held it longer because, well, a lot of the times when, like, the women superstars do win Money in the Bank, they do tend to only hold it for, like, an hour or something. So, I mean, I kind of do wish that would have been, broken. But, I mean, given the fact that we got a moment like this, I can live with that.
And then they never pull the trigger or they pull that rug out from under them because they don't really have a plan. Well, here's their plan. They cashed it in immediately, and it was a nice reaction. I think a lot of people care about Liv Morgan. I think she's a natural babyface, and I think that this was a cool move, even...
Without a doubt, she's a natural babyface. Without a doubt. Like, oh my God, her popularity is through the freaking roof. Like, it's insane. And I'm along with the ride because, well, much like C and other people that I've spoken to and heard opinions of, we've all been campaigning for this to happen, pretty much. Like, we've all been dying for this, and we finally got it. And, oh my God. It's truly two of some of the most greatest moments in wrestling history, in my opinion.
Though we've seen it...
And Michael Cole's commentary was just 10 out of 10. Like, some of the best commentary I've seen him do for a moment in WWE and or WWF. So, I mean, fair play to Michael Cole. He commented on that really, really well. Fair play to him.
Time and time again. I think it's awesome for her. Congratulations to her. Can't wait to see where it goes. She deserves this moment, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Like I said, nobody deserved it more than she did. Out of those women in that Women's Money in the Bank ladder match this year, nobody deserved it more than she did.
I wish that the matchup with Ronda and Natalya was better and kind of set it up better for this, but at the same time, it's a cool moment, and Liv Morgan's your new SmackDown Women's Champion, and I couldn't agree more with this move. And for our main event, the men's Money in...
Yeah, this was a brilliant move, obviously, because, well, it was. Like I said, they pretty much made a star out of Liv Morgan finally, and that's what we've been banging on about and asking for literally ages. And they finally did it. So, I mean, great job, WWE. Great job.
In the Bank ladder match, we had Omos, Sheamus, Matt Riddle, Drew McIntyre,
So here's the main event. Here's the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So we got Omos, Sheamus, Matt Riddle, Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, Madcap Moss, and, well, a mystery opponent. I think I'm right in saying all that. So there you go. So yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I am right with that count. Yay!
Madcap Moss, Sami Zayn, Seth freaking Rollins, and Sheamus. Well, Brad, you thought. Before the matchup, Adam Pearce comes out, and he says that he is adding to this matchup. And who does he add?
Yeah, I think there was meant to be a mystery opponent, but I can't think whether or not that was Madcap Moss, and then I can't think whether the mystery opponent was meant to be Madcap Moss, so I suppose Adam Pearce was like, screw this, let's add another bonus opponent into this, and he added the Arkham stealthy son of a gun himself, Austin Theory.
John Cena. Could it be a newly returned Bray Wyatt? Could it be Brock Lesnar? Hell, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's effing Theory, bro. They put Theory in the match. So, of course, immediately, you're going to go, well, this guy's winning the match. But I was thinking to myself, no, right? They're not going to just blatantly do this.
Yeah, I was still pulling for Seth the whole damn way. Like, I wasn't changing my pick and thinking, oh, Theory's going to somehow skin the cat and win this thing. Like, I wasn't thinking that would happen, to be completely honest. Like, I was still on the Seth train. Like, I was thinking, there's no way he's gonna do that.
I should have made another video on it. I guess I should do it again tomorrow or some other day this week, because they have continued the streak of Money in the Bank winners that have been ruined. They have ruined the Mr. Money in the Bank like 7 or 8 years in a row now. And my God, this matchup started particularly slow. I did not like the pace of it. I thought it was very boring to start. It picked up a lot though throughout. It was a great matchup and it started building towards one.
Yeah, it was a great match, to be fair. It was great. Obviously, I guess it did take a while to really get going, but once it did get going, it obviously did become a great match. So, I mean, fair play to obviously everybody in the match for delivering a decent match.
Great moments picked up. I felt like Seth Rollins didn't get nearly enough stuff in. I felt like this man did a couple stomps. He did like 1 or 2 spots here, and he was done with. The super RKO off the ladder by Riddle was really sweet.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like, that's literal. That RKO literally rivals some of Randy Orton's best RKOs. So, I mean, fair play to Riddle. Like, good job. Good for him. Like, good for him that he got to have that moment.
I just felt like he didn't get nearly enough showtime, and Theory didn't do a goddamn thing in this matchup. Takes a super powerbomb slam from Omos. He's out of the matchup. I thought it was cool to bury Omos with the ladders. I thought that was really unique and a really fun idea.
Yeah, that was cool that they did that, because, I mean, they had to obviously get him out of there because, well, he's freakishly huge. So, I mean, fair play to obviously everybody in the match that did that to Omos. Like, that was a pretty cool spot, and I mean, like, sure, that's been repeated other times with, like, Braun Strowman, Big Show, and then some, but, I mean, that's usually, it usually never disappoints, and it obviously didn't this time, so, I mean, good job, obviously, by everybody in the match that did that, so, I mean, fair play. So, obviously, it never usually disappoints, and it didn't pardon me, guys. It didn't this time around.
Yeah, right there. I thought that was cool. He came back later on. It just, I don't know, man. I don't know. This, let's just get into the ending, shall we? Matt Riddle, you think he's about to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Here comes Theory, who's...
Yeah, I was... Sorry about the cough, guys, but yeah. Yeah, so basically how the ending went down. So I figured that Seth was going to win this. I was pulling for Seth, and then Riddle did the amazing RKO, which kind of swanded me getting annoyed at Riddle for, you know, taking Seth out of it and my pick out of it. But okay, so here's the real ending. So Riddle goes up to the ladder, right? He's getting the briefcase. He's, you know, doing that, blah blah blah, and then of course the Skinner of the cat himself, Theory, of course, goes up to the ladder himself and manages to get the briefcase in the end.
He's been laid out for 25 minutes, I swear to God. He took the big power bomb and he disappeared for a year and a half. A year and a half in match terms, you know what I'm saying? So it had been...
Yeah, it was like a quarter of a century in match terms that he was gone. Like, people pretty much forgot about him until he went up to that ladder. pretty much.
A long time. But anyways, he gets up there, they battle, they go back and forth. Eventually, Theory gets the upper hand, knocks Riddle off, and claims the Money in the Bank briefcase. Really shallow, garbage stuff. You know,
Like, I'm not a fan of Theory, like, big time, but I also obviously respect Theory, but he didn't need to do this. He didn't need to go in the match. Like, they really, really ruined that sort of idea. Like, no, like, that's just, and especially after a decent pay-per-view or premium live event like what Money in the Bank had been up to that point, it was kind of a bit unfortunate that they ended it in such a sour way like they did. So, yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame, but it doesn't take away from how amazing this pay-per-view / premium live event was and has been and is.
I hate it, man.
Okay, maybe it does a little bit in now that I think about it, but not a tremendous amount is more what I'm getting at.
I hate it. I'm not a big Theory guy anyway. You guys heard it earlier in the video. I don't really care for Theory. I know they're trying to push him to the moon, and it's apparent. You know, I guess that upset victory really doesn't look that too much of an upset now. They're like, he can take the L. He can hand the U.S. title to Bob because we're giving him the Money in the Bank contract, which is just makes me sick. God in heaven, man. Nonetheless, Theory is Mr. Money in the Bank, and I do not like it. I do not like it. I think...
Yeah, I think that was a bad call by WWE. I don't think they should have done that, to be honest. They should have just kept the title on Theory, the US title, because he looked good with it, and he was obviously doing great things with it, and I think it would have made more sense to have the younger star get put over in the form of Theory, so, by Lashley. So, I mean, and he was already doing that, already. Like, Lashley was already doing that. He was making Theory look good, obviously, but still making himself look good, obviously, at the same time, which isn't, in fact, easy to do. So, obviously, he was already doing that, but I still do think that he should have just retained the title and be done with, and we could have had, like, somebody as the mystery opponent, maybe someone who maybe would have created a bit more buzz for the right reasons, in my mind. But I mean, this is what they went with, and obviously this is who won and who they went with to win the damn thing, and I mean, there you go.
Overall, I think the thing about it is it was just so telegraphed. You know what I mean? I think had maybe somebody got injured or something in the backstage area, like, oh my god, Sami Zayn can't compete, similar to how Braun Strowman did it, and, you know, they had to find a replacement or something like that, or do something of that nature, I guess would have possibly been better, but I guess they were just like, F it, we're putting...
Yeah, like, if somebody got injured or something like that, or somebody couldn't compete in the match, like, fair enough, pull an audible, go with Theory, go for your life, make yourselves happy, it doesn't matter, we'll deal with it, whatever, we'll be fine. But obviously, they just willy-nilly put him in there anyway, so I mean, yeah. Not very good stuff, in my opinion.
Right in your face, I guess, but I don't know, man. I'm just giving you my thoughts and opinions off the cuff. I know that they're booking Theory in a great light. You know, it's not that he's not talented. That's not really what it is. It's not that he doesn't have a...
Yeah, he has talent. He's amazing. Like, I've been obviously bashing him a little bit in this video, but also I've been obviously hyping him up and obviously giving him love, because, I mean, like, he deserves it. I do respect the guy. He's done some amazing things this year, without a shadow of a doubt. And, I mean, he's accomplished all this stuff at such a young age, at the age of 24, and in his young WWE career. Like, fair play to him. Like, respect to him. Like, have absolutely no qualms with the guy, but obviously WWE didn't really have to do us dirty like that. Like, that was, yeah, that wasn't good, to be completely honest. It really, really wasn't. But it doesn't take away that badly from the premium live event / pay-per-view, so show, in basic terms. So it doesn't take away from the show astronomically, but it is a bit of a cheap way to end it, to be honest.
Certain look. I'm just not a personal fan of the guy, and I wasn't a fan of how they pulled everything out right here. And I know he's supposed to be the heel guy. Yeah, like, I get it. I totally get it. I'm just giving...
Yeah, and obviously, like he said, I do get it. Obviously, he's a heel. He's been a great heel, and like I said, obviously, I'm trying to gas him up more than I'm trying to, bang his brains in terms of in a negative light. Like the guy's done great things. He's done things in his young WWE career that most wouldn't be able to fathom. So, like, surviving Brock Lesnar inside the Elimination Chamber, taking a stunner from Stone Cold in very, very convincing fashion, standing up to John Cena on John Cena's 20th anniversary. Like, he's done amazing things, being the youngest US title holder in history at the age of 24. So, I mean, the guy's done great things, don't get me wrong. Like, respect to him, obviously, but WWE really, really didn't have to do us dirty like that.
Giving you my thoughts and opinions, man. That's just the way it is. But that's Money in the Bank. I thought we had some slammer matches on.
But yeah, that obviously brings my video to a conclusion. And yeah, in terms of what I would give the show, just obviously in general. So like, yeah, so obviously in general, where we'll go with Theory and the whole Theory situation. Obviously, he'll be bragging about it. He'll cash in whenever. I don't know. It's definitely not going to be on Roman Reigns because that just sounds laughable at this point. But point is, yeah. So he'll do his thing. He'll have fun with the briefcase and take selfies with it like he's already been doing anyway. So that's where we'll obviously go from there. So yeah, and then obviously Liv Morgan, she'll get her for title defense. She'll do this and that, and we'll be all on the ride for that moment, and we'll eat it up like our lives depend on it. So that's some of the stuff that obviously I've not said in terms of like where we'll go with here, where we'll go from here with some parts of the show. So yeah, that's obviously my take on some of that. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this Money in the Bank review videos and thoughts and opinions and whole shebang, then like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, favorite videos. If we could get up to 150 likes, then that'll be great. And yeah, ciao guys. And yeah, Liv Morgan did it. Whoopee!